Hello.
Hello, Crystal. Ah, do I see a big diamond ring over there on your
Well,
finger?
we were just talking how I know classics.
Yes, you do know a good
It's a
classic.
new ring.
Wait, what did I miss? I turned my back for 2 minutes.
I got
And
engaged.
you got a big. Okay.
I've had so much news. I'm not pregnant.
Okay.
I know. It was my Christmas gift from Rob.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, Merry fucking Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Wow.
I know. Thank you.
That's beautiful.
I know. I feel almost like.
No, don't hide it.
Oh,
That's
really?
gorgeous. Show everyone.
Okay.
Okay, this is how we're rolling into 2025. Hi, I'm Cynthia.
I'm Crystal. This is Humble Brag.
Humble brag.
Humble Brag.
Oh, I have tea.
Once a housewife,
Always a housewife. Can we say that again for the people in the back?
Humble Brag.
Humble brag. Brag with us.
Look, you know what? It was a tough
You earned that ring, girl.
I mean, I realized I've been with Rob 22 years. So it's from Takori. Takori's, who I did the party with, who gave you guys all your diamonds.
Necklace.
Right?
Yes.
So Rob surprised me and brought me to he's like, let's go out. And he drove me to this place. I came in and it was like the factory.
Yes. The factory?
The factory. It was like
this.
a diamond factory. And it was a whole thing. And it was like showing how you they make everything. And they have a showroom. And he said, pick out. Unfortunately for Rob, he didn't have a couple choices. I just picked one.
I'll take that one.
And I think he didn't want to ruin the my dream, so he just was forced to just say yes to the thing I wanted.
I love it. So that's what 22 years of marriage looks like?
Yeah. 22 together, good. 15
together.
Married.
Okay.
This is a 15.
Still.
It's a 15.
Together counts.
It's not 15. It's half of 15, but it's good.
Okay. Either way, it's a
know.
beautiful ring.
Thank you. I'm I don't even know what to do with it.
That's
but
gorgeous.
I sometimes hide it because it's so
No,
severe.
don't hide it. Don't deprive us of seeing that beautiful ring.
I know. Thank
It's
you.
gorgeous.
So
look at you. You're like, don't even know what to do. You're
I don't even know what to do with it. I know. It's
That's
like
a good one.
It's my dream. And they said that 95% of people pick it with gold now.
I love gold.
So I was like, oh, so I just picked the gold. I wasn't even, because I'm my generation is silver.
I used to be silver.
Yeah. We wanted platinum, right? It was
my watch. I would love this exact watch in gold. Now. I feel
she goes, they sell no platinum. They sell no white gold. It's all gold. And I was kind of shocked. And then I was like, I guess I'll get gold because I'm I don't look like an old lady. So
it's everything.
That's going to be your 2025. You're going to get a gold watch, girl.
Okay.
That should be your gift to yourself when you're done with your weight goals.
Yep. 50 pounds and spend 50,000.
That's right. 50 and 50.
50, 50. Okay. And I'm in my 50s.
That's right.
Okay. It's a lot of 50s going on because I have a 50-something birthday coming up as well.
That's right.
But wait a minute. I want to go back to this ring and to your boot. Okay. So as someone who is in I keep saying a new relationship, but I've actually been with this guy for about 10 months now.
No. Say it's
Why
new.
could I say it's not? It's still new, right?
No, because when it's new, it's fun. It's still new. Okay. Enjoy it.
Okay.
Rob and I are not new. We're now at real.
You guys are old news.
We're old. You got to do something to keep me around. This was take me to Takori and this is how we save our marriage.
Buy me a big old diamond ring.
That's right. This is how we do. But you're still so new and fresh and fun and I love that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, what I was going to ask you was, since you just have done this so long and so well and at such an early age, what advice do you have for me? Because I've gotten it wrong a couple of times with things that didn't work a couple of times. There were a couple of divorces. So I really feel like this could be my person.
Yeah.
And I'm always open for just some nuggets, especially for someone like yourself who's been in a very happy marriage for so many years.
Well, thank you for asking. So I will say this, and I say this out of just total transparency, is that it's not a perfect marriage. And sometimes I want out. And I'm just going to say that out loud. There are moments where I'm this is so hard. I'm fighting with you too much. And I think that I can't be more honest. And you have to ride those feelings out. And I'll never forget someone, when I was a teenager, gave me this nugget. Said, you will fall out of love in your marriage in moments. Wow. But you got to stay committed that you'll fall back in love. Is that crazy? Someone said to me when I was like 17. And so those moments where I'm like, I'm committed to falling back in love. That's why he brought me back to Takori. And I fell back in love. No, honestly, like we've been together 22 years. We've gone through ups and downs. And then those downs are like, are we going to do this? And we have to just keep committing. And then we come back and we're like, we're good. And it's like, that just know that when it doesn't feel perfect, that's okay. That when it's not perfect, don't give up. That's not the sign that it's over. It's just not perfect today.
Right. So you guys argue. And I think it's normal to argue. But I forgot who said it. I think Michelle Obama said it. It's like learning how to argue with your person.
Yeah.
I think that's so valuable.
That's a big one too.
Because you're going to argue.
That's right. It's the people that have this sort of blind, like, not blind, but just, it's like, it's too unrealistic, this aspirational, sort of idealistic of a relationship. And maybe those exist, but we go through ups and downs. We go up and down, like with our kids, things happen, financial things happen, work things happen, our family struggles happen, all those things. And we struggle through them and you just got to get out of it. It's not like, oh, it's so peaceful. We're holding hands together through the struggle. Like sometimes our struggle is each other.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, I'm committed to knowing that I'm going to get over that hump because it's just a moment. Just like what happened with the fires last week, right? Like that's catastrophic. But you have like people really suffer and we're going to suffer in together. Sometimes it's going to feel together. Sometimes it's going to feel separated.
Yeah.
But we're committed to sticking it out. And I think that's really what it is. And not to take hard times as always a sign that it means it's over.
Do you guys go to bed mad at each other?
Yes, all the time.
They say we shouldn't do that because I go to bed mad as well.
Okay.
And they say you should never go to
They
bed
say,
mad.
I don't know who they is. There are people that say that.
The people that give relationship advice say that you should never go to bed mad at your partner.
Okay, that's great. But I feel like if I'm fighting with Rob hard, then we're sweeping on the rug.
Yeah.
You can say, like, stick a pin in it.
Yeah.
And then we'll go in tomorrow.
Right.
That's
but
different.
But it is a to be continued.
To be continued.
For sure.
But not like, okay, we're good. Like, I don't really get that because that means you're not dealing with it. Sometimes you got to go through it.
I have to stay in my madness until we get to the other side of it.
You're sleeping in the guest room. I'm still mad.
And they can still sleep in the bed with me. And
that too. But I'm going to kill you.
We already know where that imaginary line is.
That's right.
This is where the leg does not cross over to my leg.
Oh, there's like full pillows.
Exactly.
Like full the whole thing. No, like I don't.
And you definitely ain't getting none. So please don't think you're going to get some mad sex because that's not going to happen.
Remember? 4, 2, 5. That's now what it's 4, not 5. So like legit, like no, like I go to bed mad all the time. But again, those are the kinds of rules that like don't work for me.
Right.
So I'm just giving you
what
the nuggets that work.
And that's all you can give me.
For me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like that could work for other relationships and that could be great for you guys.
Right.
That's never even been part of my makeup. Like we've never had those rules.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we fight, we get crazy. And like sometimes like there's weeks where it's like we're kind of like it's still awkward and like we're not talking.
I can't even imagine this. Like when I'm around you and Rob, you guys literally look like best friends. Like you guys
but we are
just so
we are
like,
best friends. I really enjoy him actually. But like there's sometimes I really don't enjoy him, you know, and like that's okay too. Like it's just so unrealistic after 22 years to think that like we're gonna be lovey-dovey and best friends. You know, we argue about like Max, like if Max is doing something I don't agree with and he's like, leave him alone. Like I'm tougher on the kids than he is. We fight about that. Like that's just part of life.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that putting the pressure that like everything's supposed to be perfect all the time, we're supposed to feel in love all the time, that we're supposed to go to bed happy all the time. That's actually destructive to me. Yeah. Again, this is only my thing. But also like I say this after that like if it's wrong, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I don't know what that looks like for other people.
Right.
If it's wrong, then I'll know it.
Right.
But like I know when I just like hate him and I know when he hates me and like that's normal.
Is it hard for you to admit when you're wrong?
100%. Never, Rob, I hope you stop listening. I'm never wrong. I never say I'm wrong. Even though inside I know I'm wrong, I'm not going to say it. Sort of like when I'm supposed to compliment you and I'm like, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say
But
I'm
if you
wrong.
figure out that I'm wrong,
Yeah,
okay,
like, you know,
caught
I
me.
think your hair looks cute, but I'm not going to say it out loud. So no, I don't like being wrong. I don't like, and I dig in. And even sometimes I'm like, when I dig in so hard, I'm like, and in my mind, I can't even know what I'm saying because I'm in my mind, I'm like, what are you doing? You're so wrong. This is like, you're insane. But I'm like, oh, I hate you. Yeah, it's just, you know, and also I think on his side, like, how do you deal with Crystal? Like, he's probably just like, that bitch is wrong, but I just let her be wrong. You know, it's like, you just got to like let the other person be. Like, I'm just who I am. I can be a bitch. I'm cold. I'm these things. Like, that's who I am. And he's like, Mr. Like, you know, he's like easygoing.
Yeah.
She's a psychopath, whatever. But like I'm sure the positives, he's like, Crystal's a doer. She gets everything done. She makes sure things happen.
Right.
You know, like, and I'm like, I hate Rob, but I'm also like, he takes care of the family. Like, he makes sure we're good.
You
like,
guys have a nice balance. You really
you just gotta like find the positive, even in all the madness, because then that will pull you to like where things are positive again, you know? And then you're like, oh, we're all having family dinner. Like, this is so nice. You know, I love this. And like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And then, you know, you take me to buy diamonds. Like, great, this is the best ever, you know? But like, I'll tell you when it's over.
When?
If you lose respect.
Ooh, I agree.
Over.
Then it's done.
Game over. If
Totally.
I don't respect
you can't come back from that.
No. And I know he respects me. I respect him.
Yeah. And I think that is such an important thing to
you
point out.
You cannot go back. If you don't respect.
Once you lose that respect.
Yeah. That's beyond partners.
File
that's your
those
friendship.
Papers,
yeah.
Start moving out.
Yes.
Or start kicking him out. Whatever.
Because you
because
can't
it's done.
defend your partner that you don't respect.
Absolutely.
And also, like, I don't want to defend someone I don't respect to my children. Like,
Absolutely.
that's also bad.
No, it's like not even possible.
It's not. That to me is the end.
Yeah.
And like, get out, because if you have children, especially, you don't want your kids to feel that.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's the ending of the end. Like, in a relationship, like, you don't have to. Well, I used to think like, you know, okay, you don't have to like me, but you have to respect me.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes. That's what I was saying about the love.
Yeah.
Like, you fall out of love, you fall in love. It doesn't mean I'll always love him. I don't want people to take this out of context, but like, those feelings, you're allowed to like not only be angry, but like hate someone. It's so long.
Yeah.
But like, at the end of the day, my respect is always there.
Yeah.
I've never lost respect.
Yeah, that's true. I always used to say like communication is like the most important thing, even though it's up there. But I think if you don't respect each other, like you don't even get to the communication part, because you don't even like.
Communication is after respect to me.
Yeah, it starts. I think respect is number one.
Number one. Like you know, you lose a little bit. It's actually suddenly they're like repulsive.
Oh my God.
I didn't laugh like that. I don't like Mars.
I love when you make me. I just don't know what's gonna come out of your mouth. Like, you are crazy as hell. I really laughed from my stomach on that one. Oh my God, repulsive like that.
Well, yeah, like I really look down on that. I don't respect.
Okay, you know what I love?
So that was my nugget.
Okay, well, thank you for that nugget. It was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
You know what I love? I love when I see a husband wife who has been together for as many years as you and Rob have, and the husband speaks about his wife, like, even when she's not around, like, just with such high regard. Like for example, like, I'll just use Denzel and Pauletta. Okay, just because, like, whenever he wins anything, the first thing he does,
she's his number one.
He's like, I want to first and foremost thank my wife, because I could not have achieved any of this. And we're talking about Denzel Washington. What? Any of this without this woman.
He's not lying.
Yeah. When I tell you, every time I see a man give his wife, because, you know, they probably have been through a million things like everyone else has.
Correct.
But that respect.
Yes.
That acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Is so beautiful to see. Yeah. And for me, like, I don't really have, well, I'll say that. For me, when I look at that, I don't really have a big laundry list of what I want from a man at this point, but I think I want my man to speak about me like that.
I'm glad you said that. That is maybe my number two, from respect, because that's all part of it. You have to speak highly, respectfully, positively about your partner. I know he does about me, and I know I do about him. No matter how I'm feeling about him.
Definitely.
You protect the other person. the minute you start kind of trashing them, like when I say like I hate him or whatever, it's like that's in fighting. But
Of
like
course.
I would never, ever talk negatively about him in public. Ever.
Oh, absolutely.
To his face, I'll tell him all the things I hate about him.
Of course.
But publicly, you lift that person up. That person represents you, your children, your whole life. The minute they start talking negatively about you is, again, it's attached to respect.
It all goes back to respect.
That's right. I don't respect, you don't respect me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very, it kills me when I see people who are, even when they're breaking up, just trash each other.
Ugh.
Like, at some point, you respect each other. At some point, you loved each other.
Yeah.
Like, how do you allow that to be the last moments of your legacy, of your relationship? You know,
Absolutely.
Like, you can go away quietly.
Absolutely.
Be like, please respect our privacy while we do this together. Like, I
Yeah.
love that.
Me too.
That's how you do it, no matter
Yeah.
what's going on.
And I feel
behind
like
closed
that
doors.
not only in my relationships with men, but also my friendships.
Yes.
Like, I really still feel a certain amount of protection for my friends as well. Like, if we're not friends anymore, I have no desire to trash them or tell all their secrets. Whatever happened in our friendship stays in our friendship.
That's right.
We just move on. That's
Yeah.
it. We just don't have to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
But I still like to protect what that friendship was.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%. So what are I'm just so curious. Like, I can't wait to meet your boyfriend.
I don't even know how we got here, but go ahead.
Well, you were saying he's new.
He is new. Well, we're 10
And it's
months
very
in.
exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
And it should feel new. And it should feel as new for as long as you can.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I
But
don't know. I keep saying absolutely this episode. I don't know why.
absolutely is good.
It's better than me saying like and like the other thing I used to
Absolutely
say,
is
which I
good.
don't even think I say that much.
Do you guys talk about relationships with each other?
We do. We do. I think like we're at that point now. It's been 10 months and we are spending, even though it's still kind of a long distance relationship, he's able to be here a little
Yeah.
bit more now. I think we are at that phase where we're not trying to fuck it up, but we're like, what does it feel like to have an argument? Like pick a fight kind of. You know, we like low key try to pick a fight to see
Yeah.
how they
To see how
are.
they respond. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a very
I know that's so
that's a
toxic.
very female thing to do.
But it's true. It's just like, well, I need to see how he reacts.
Yeah.
And
By the way, it's
you
super
know-
toxic, but also weirdly necessary.
yeah.
So like, because like here we are 22 years
Yeah.
later and we fight all the time.
Yeah.
How do you respond? How do you get through it?
right,
And I think it's important.
right.
And so have you done that?
Well, I feel like, and
What
I,
have you
well,
started?
he watches the podcast now, which I didn't even know he watched because he was like, "Oh my god," we were talking about the 80-year-old. He was like,
Oh, yeah.
So we had to have a whole conversation about that. He was like, "Oh, so you were like, 80-year-old billionaire?" Huh? I was like, "Oh my god!"
See,
stop."
that's where you
And
know you're new.
Oh my
Because
goodness!
then you care. Like if Rob hears all this, like you hate me, and like he won't even care. He's like,
He's
yeah,
like, girl,
and
bye.
yeah, like, whatever.
Exactly.
But you are so new. You're like, tell me about this 80-year-old.
I know, I
Oh my God,
know.
your eyes are like watered.
So
'cause
we
you're kind
had
of,
that
like, laughing.
conversation. We had the
Okay.
80-year-old conversation. And by the way, like so many people, when I posted that clip, were in my comments like, "Oh, like he couldn't even, keep an 80-year-old." Like they were so like so many people
stupid.
made fun. Like, okay, just for anyone that watches our podcast, I absolutely enjoy making fun of my life.
People are
I
stupid. Don't even
was
worry
not
about them. They're haters.
offended in the least. Like I had one meal with this person.
Yeah.
It was not that deep, but yeah, of course, when I sit down with this lunatic over here, we're gonna talk about and I had already decorated the house. I literally obviously had not like in my mind decorated this man's house. And they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you were already trying to decorate his house." I'm like, "Can we just have fun?
Well, people don't know how to have fun.
Like, can we have a sense of humor?"
I know.
Okay.
Okay, but I don't care what anyone
Okay, yeah,
else's
forget-
sense of humor except him.
I always love to use the new year as an opportunity to get myself organized.
Same.
Specifically this year, I know the both of us wanted to organize our finances. Thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable. They show me all of my subscriptions right in one place and help me easily cancel the ones that I forgot I've been paying for.
Rocket Money also pulls together all of my spending across all of my different accounts so I can clearly track my spending habits and see where I can cut back.
Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spendings, and helps lower your bills so that you can grow your savings.
See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them.
Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts.
Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going.
Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget.
The new goals feature automatically saves money for you, so you don't have to think about it. Pay off credit card debt, put away money for a house, or just build your savings. Rocket Money makes it easy.
Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you. They'll deal with the customer service so that you don't have to.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features.
Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/humblebrag today.
That's rocketmoney.com/humblebrag. rocketmoney.com/humblebrag.
Have you ever wanted to try fasting? Then you're not alone. But where do you even begin? And how do you fast in a safe, productive way?
If you want to kickstart your health journey this year, you need to join Prolon L Nutra. Their January Fasting Challenge, a coach-led program to set you up for fasting success, just kicked off, so it's perfect time to join.
When you sign up with Prolon L Nutra, you are getting coach-led fasts with support from experts, a thriving online community, daily Q&As, and even some surprise celebrity guests.
Prolon helps promote healthy blood sugar, enhanced skin appearance, fat loss, and improved energy and focus.
And it was researched and developed for decades at USC's Longevity Institute and backed by leading U.S. medical centers.
I'm starting strong with the Prolon 5-day program. With the January Fasting Challenge, I'll have expert support, guidance, and a community to keep me on track.
Ready to make 2025 your healthiest year yet? Order your Prolon 5-day kit at prolonlife.com/humblebrag and join in on their fasting challenge today. New groups start every Sunday in January.
Plus, Prolon is offering Humble Brag with Crystal and Cynthia listeners 15% off their 5-day nutrition program for your post-holiday glow-up when you go to prolonlife.com/humblebrag.
prolonlife.com/humblebrag. So anyway, we talked about that, and he was just like, he knew it was like just funny or whatever, and he's like learning my sense of humor. Like
yeah.
And it's interesting.
By the way, that is a big thing.
It is a big thing.
Your sense of humor, they don't have to be the same, but you have to get each other's.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I'm hyper sarcastic and rude.
Yes.
And just rude and general.
Yes. Direct.
Yeah, direct.
Right.
But like people have to know that it's like 99% of this is a joke. But Rob would be like, that hurt my feelings. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't care.
Right.
But like, you get used to it. So like, how's your humor? Like,
okay,
versus
well, I
his?
think just watching the pod for him, he gets to see a side of me that like, I guess the way I am on here.
Yeah.
I'm not so much like that around him. Like I really put all my crazy. I release all my crazy
but that makes
here.
sense because you're dating
and
him.
then he gets to see that, and he just really cracks up. He thinks that we are both crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
And
so he's smart.
He loves it. Exactly. So he loves us. But anyway, so we spent a lot of time together. He's going to kill me, like over the past month and a half. Right.
I'm very excited to hear this.
So he actually really likes being around me a lot. So whenever I have to leave, like he's
like a puppy.
Kinda. He starts. Yeah, he gets a little sad.
Like he gets sad.
I'm used to men like thank God this bitch is leaving. I've been like.
Do you think it's an age thing?
I don't know what it is, but it's really sweet.
Okay, he's just more of a attached person.
Yeah, and he's very affectionate.
Okay,
and he really likes being around me.
Yeah,
which it's
That's
not
sweet.
weird, but it's so cool because I literally feel like okay, we've been around each other for like a month and a half, like nonstop with no interruptions because it's been holidays. We were in Europe together, and then we spent New Year's at Lake Bailey together. And I don't know if something's wrong with me, but I just was like, isn't he tired of me now? Like, isn't he like waiting for me to go to LA?
Right.
But he literally is like,
misses you.
Doesn't want me to go. He's he wants me to go, but
That's
he's
good.
like, he was like, yeah, well, there's a producer from the Netherlands in LA. He's like, yeah, he's going to be out there for 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Okay.
So the question is for you, it's like, do you like a little bit of a break? Is that your personality?
I thought I did. I always thought I did.
Okay.
Because I was always with men who just never seemed to want to be in my face 24/7.
Right.
Or not to say he wants to be in my face 24/7, but like they always seem to enjoy like
having their space,
going away from me to
Right,
work
right,
or
right.
whatever. And then we would come back and it would be great. But I can genuinely say that my little Dutchman really just enjoys my
That's
time.
cute.
Although I feel like low key when I left this time because he was like, he gets a little sad when I get ready to leave. I felt like he tried to like gaslight me a little bit and pick
Oh.
a fight,
Oh,
have a little argument. Yeah.
okay.
But I know where it was coming from because I knew it
Yes.
was like that, like,
That's
okay,
next
she's
level.
leaving.
That's stage 2 of the
But I
relationship.
recognized it. I was like,
Gaslighting each other's gas.
and I was like, oh.
is level 2.
Oh, yeah, because I've studied narcissist
That's right.
personality disorder. He's not a narcissist, but I know a good gaslight when
Right.
I get one. You know what I'm saying?
But by the way, I think that's so kind of cute because we were talking about like, you're picking fights.
Yeah.
And I think that's like his sign of,
That was his way of like,
Connecting,
I don't want
yeah.
you to go. Like, I'm going to
Yes.
miss you.
because when you fight, you have to keep someone engaged.
Right.
The worst thing is like you're fighting and then they stop talking to you and you're like, ugh, it's like, keep fighting with me because it's
Right.
the way to keep,
Oh, I had all the smoke for him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you want to go there?
But would you ever, but now that you you deeply know it was gaslighting, what if you went the other direction? Would you be like, you're so cute, trying to gaslight
Right.
just to connect with me.
Right.
I know what you're doing. I know you miss me,
Right.
but it's not going to work. So I'll
That's
see you
what I
next
should have
week.
did. That's what I should have
See,
did.
that's a totally different way.
Because I saw the buildup coming because I could tell his energy because I'm an energy person.
Yeah.
I could read it. I was just like, okay. He's like, the closer it got to, like, when it snowed, like, I saw him secretly doing a happy dance in his mind, like, oh, I bet the flight's not going to go.
Okay, so-
She has to, like, postpone it
So
now.
what did you think about his sort of fighting style?
Well, I understood where it was coming from, although he's going to
Like, did you like it? Did it match with you? You're like,
Well, he can hold a good argument.
Oh, he
Like,
can, okay.
He can go. We went back and forth.
okay.
We went back and forth. I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, all right. And I'm like kind of used to. I've been with some good
Fighters.
fighters.
Oh, yeah,
who
okay.
can go down and dirty.
Okay.
And they can go low.
I don't like low. I don't like
I hate low.
Low is
And
not
I
good.
never want to be with anyone
No.
that I go low because then after like some stuff you just say is just unforgivable.
I'll tell you, we don't go low.
Yeah.
We go right there. Like, we're hovering.
But you just don't go underneath
We're
what's
tickling
low.
that floor.
You guys don't go to hell.
Yeah, but we
Right.
don't cross into the devil's
Right.
place. Like that's, I want to. My heart is there.
but you have to stop yourself.
You have to stop yourself.
You have to stop yourself.
Okay, so he goes there.
And I
but-
felt like we hovered.
okay.
And then again, for us, this was a new thing. So we had to see what that's like. Like,
Yeah.
how low will he go?
Right.
And how low will I
Well,
go?
you go.
Yeah. And we like went back and forth. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. One thing about him, which I have to work on.
Okay.
Like after it was over, like I went downstairs, he went wherever, normally he will just like, leave for a couple hours and just cool off or just like come back with a different energy or whatever. But we were snowed in.
Okay.
So there was nowhere to go.
Okay.
But I really give him his props for being the bigger person to come back in the end and say,
Kind of
hey,
like wrap it up.
can I have a hug? I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way. And I wasn't trying to do this or that and the other.
How long
Like-
did that take?
He's good for I feel like he came around in that situation, maybe in like a couple of hours.
Okay, so same day.
Oh yeah. Now we have
Because
slept on it.
By the way, this is how we started. You said you go to bed mad.
Yeah. Mad as hell.
Okay.
I'm a pro at going to bed mad.
Okay. So he wrapped it up before bedtime.
Yeah. Well, okay. First of all, we said that in 2025 that we wouldn't argue about stupid stuff.
Okay, that's fair.
And this was a dumb thing they were arguing about. Like, I don't even know what it was
You will.
about. I feel
you
like
will
it's because
argue.
I was
That's
leaving.
ridiculous. You will.
Right.
But like when he did it, did you immediately say like, "Okay, I'm sorry too," or you were like, "Okay, fine"? Like, were you kind of cold? Because I would be cold if you apologize to me. I'm gonna let
See,
you
this
suffer.
is where you're like my sister. Like, I kind of was like, I don't want to kiss right now. And he's like,
Oh, so he wanted to be like he wanted to like resolve it. No. I'm like, no, stay away from me. I'm still mad at you. You can apologize because you're wrong and I'm right.
I need to sit in it just a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know why. That's so bad, right?
No,
That's not.
no.
Like,
We've
it takes
actually
me a
talked
minute to
about
snap
it.
out of it.
We talked about when you did girls trip,
Oh my God. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
like
yeah.
they all try to wrap it up. Like,
Well, you have like a blowout with someone, and then after they're like, "So we're good, right?" And I'm like,
no,
"No,
no, bitch, we're not
we're
good.
so not good.
I
Like,
hate you
We
still.
are everything but good."
That's right.
And you just have to sit in it for a minute. And I applaud the women that do Housewives that are able to like say something crazy,
I
and then
know.
hang out and have a margarita with the person 5 minutes later.
Do you think it's real?
I don't know what
When they
that
do
is,
that?
but I'm not built like that.
Because half the girls
When
might
I'm
like
happy,
that.
I'm happy.
They
and if
literally
I'm
could
pissed.
cut your legs off and be like, I'm sorry, like, let's move on. And then
Right.
they do, and you're like, are you, like, you're a
And then they go,
sociopath.
are you still upset? Yeah.
Yeah, and then you're
It
the
just
asshole.
happened 25 minutes ago.
That's
I'm
right.
still very much upset.
And then you're the, like, emotional asshole that won't get over it.
Right. And then you feel like you hold on to it. And then you start to question, like, am I fucked up for holding on to
No,
this?
I don't
Like,
question it.
Like, why do I
it.
still feel mad? And everyone's looking at me like,
No.
I should be over it.
I don't question it. I just know they know that scene's over and they're ready to go. Like, I think it's all
But there's
TV.
that's like art to that, because
It is,
I
because
wish
they
that
don't really
I could
care. They don't
why
actually
do
care.
we care? Like,
They don't care. They're fighting for TV. We're like, oh, why are you attacking my character? And like, well, they don't care shit.
Like,
I know, because we're
I
like,
take
we're
my
so
hat off to them, because when I tell you, I have driven home from scenes like just totally like
destroyed.
Wrecked.
I know. No,
Like-
they're like, no, totally
and they've moved on with their lives.
Yes.
And
It's
I'm
weird.
still like, how is this even
I
happening
know.
to me right
So
now?
back to your boyfriend. No, it's not crazy that you hold on to it. It takes time. Like it's like the energy is in my body, and I'm like, I need days. Like, get away from me. I will
Well, I
get
try
over
not
it.
to do that days. Like, after like a couple more hours, because he did make, like, I understand a peace offering. And
What was the peace offering?
Well, the fact that he just
he
came
apologized.
to apologize
okay,
first, or just even try to make, to move on.
Yeah.
So I love that he did that, because I don't know, for some reason I struggle with that part. And I think I'm a peacemaker, but when it comes to my own stuff, like,
I'm
it's
going to say
different.
this because I'm like you in this way. Like, because I'm going to give you your flowers on this one. I think it's because you want to genuinely get over it. If
Yeah.
you just pass through it, you're still going to withhold those feelings.
Yes.
And that's not genuine. That's not authentic. I'm like, if I want to forgive you and move on, I want to
You gotta get it
really
out.
do it. And I this is not just with Rob. This is like my friends. Like, well, I thought you were over it. Like, I thought
Yeah.
we made up. And I'm like, no, we said we've made up,
But
but
you
it
didn't
doesn't mean I'm
really-
moving on.
Right.
Making up to me is
That's what
not
it is,
moving
yeah.
on yet. I've committed the commitment, right?
Yeah.
To resolving. I'm committed to moving on, but this doesn't stop here. I don't have feelings
Right.
anymore.
Right.
I mean, I'm not holding grudges, but I'm like still wounded by the whole thing. It's like a
Yeah.
scab. Like, you put the
It
Band-Aid on,
is.
but you still need to heal,
Yeah.
you know? People are
Yeah.
crazy, girl.
Well, I'm glad that you understand what I'm talking about, because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really working on just trying to like grow and be better just as a person. But I feel like I don't really bother that many people. So when I get
Yeah.
into stuff, I'm like, now how did we get here? Like, I really
But it's okay.
pride myself on really trying to be someone that can get along with people.
Do you see yourself as someone that's like always wants peace? Because I'm not that way.
Always.
Oh, no. I'm not like that.
No. I know your ass don't always want peace.
No,
but I'm like
I need a
always like
little-
peace and love and light.
I'm a people pleaser, but I
I used to be.
like a little spice in my life, whether it happens to me or I create it. Yeah, I like that.
It finds you. There's always a little.
It finds me for sure.
Spice.
Oh, so you just always want to go back to
That's
the
what I
J.
want. That's what I. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely
yeah,
want peace.
I have to be honest with myself. I think
Yeah.
I want that, but no, I like a little.
But what I love about him is he's so sweet.
he
so
sounds
sweet.
very sweet.
He's really sweet.
Yeah.
And he really checks a lot of my boxes.
Maybe you're not used to that. Are you used to sweet men?
No.
See, that's it. There's not a lot of sweet men, so I think that's really.
I mean,
that's really special.
like, I'm not gonna just like say that I haven't met sweet men.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, he's like a different level of present and just very sweet.
Yeah.
Like, that's the word. I've never called anybody I dated sweet.
Oh,
Like,
I
that's
like
a very
that.
specific word choice.
yeah.
And just cute. And like, I really walked away. I was like, wow, he really likes being around me.
Right.
Which I don't know if I need to go to therapy for, like, even like not thinking that that people should want to be around me. But I was just really surprised at how.
Okay. So Boobay,
But you
turn off
miss
right
me.
now. So I'm going to ask you a
But I
question.
just want to clear up. I did like say gaslighting, but I just want to point out that my man is definitely not a narcissist, because
Oh, no, we don't
definitely
think that
am very
about him.
clear what a narcissist is.
But I wanted to turn off right now because I want to ask you really. So
Oh shit.
when he's coming for you, when he's like, but did you find that like, did you were like, oh, were you like kind of a little happy? Like that kind of like, like respect that like he can
Oh,
come
yeah.
with you. Like because I wouldn't respect if you just like
No, if
bow
I
down.
can run over you, then that's
That's
just
what I
not
mean.
good.
Like you need to have a little energy.
He ain't no punk.
Yeah, okay,
good. He definitely was lighting me up, and I was lighting him up.
Yeah,
like
okay. You were going.
We went there.
Yeah.
We definitely went
you
there.
You were boxing a little bit.
Yeah,
that's good.
Just only a couple out. I mean, the only thing is like he definitely he was giving it right back to me, and I was like, oh, okay.
I know it's tough, but if he doesn't,
but I was like, all right. So
because you can handle it.
See what this is. Oh yeah. Now I like peace, but I like a good fight. If you want to bring me the smoke, then let's go.
That's what I mean.
So I don't back away from a good fight now.
I don't know why I was scared.
If that's what we have to do.
See, I don't know why I was scared of fighting housewives because I'm such a fighter.
I think it would be very different if you went back. Like I think you have just
I would light everybody up. I would.
Yeah, you would come in,
torch the place,
like lighting everybody's ass up.
I would go crazy. Like I really love. Yeah, I love to fight. You know what it is? I don't want because I remember my first like 2 episodes. Like, oh, Crystal's so smug, and I'm like, I'm not smug. I can't believe we'll say that, and Rob looks and be like, you're fucking smug, dude.
I never felt like it was. Is it unbothered?
Smug
you always seem
was the word.
Unbothered, but that's because you didn't really show your feelings.
Smug was the word, and I'm like, I'm not
smug. Like smug.
But Rob kept looking at me like, well, you were kind of cold. I was like, oh.
Now I could see when people would. I could see why they would say you come off a little cold.
I'm cold, but I didn't own it.
That feeling thing, though.
It's hard to see it. Like I know it, but like to hear it out loud, you're like, ugh. But now I'm like, oh yeah, everyone was right. I'm smug. I'm cold. Whatever. All those things in moments. In general, like I'm a very heart-centered person. But if you come for me and we fight, I'm going for I'm tough.
Okay,
I'm real tough.
Yeah. Okay.
I hold
looking at me from the outside looking in. Do you like people say that I look unapproachable? Which I don't think I look unapproachable at all.
Not at all.
Like people are always like, "Oh my God, I didn't know you were going to be nice like this."
I'm like I said to you, I was very drawn to because I'm like a big personality.
Yeah, why were you drawn to me? I feel like now that I know you, like have a million people around you all the time.
Well,
I don't even know how I got your attention, really.
Well, I think probably I saw we were similar. Like I think people think of us in one way, but we're not.
We have amazing chemistry. People say that all the time, and I don't even know how we didn't find each other before.
I mean, love is love.
But I didn't even know we had good chemistry like this until we started the pod. Really?
I know this is next level though. This is next level.
Like I honestly didn't know, and I'm like, you're right.
But I also knew just like I could feel that like everyone thinks that we're so quiet and da da da. But
meanwhile,
So yeah, I think I was just drawn to the same energy in that way. Like or misunderstood. I was always called misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
I'm like, no one misunderstands me.
Yeah.
You just think something of me.
Right.
Like you're the one that's creating this. Like I am who I am.
Right.
And
I think we're around like especially on the show. There's so many big personalities on the show that we get kind of lost in the sauce just in terms like I'm not a big personality.
Yeah.
And I know that. Nor do I have the energy or the strength to be. Like I kind of like hovering on the sidelines.
But I also think those big personalities, not all, but some are very singular personalities. It's like I think we're more dynamic than people think. I think we have a lot of aspects about us that people don't realize, but they just think there's one where it's like big personality is just big. They're just loud and they're just like covering. But I think that the quiet ones are always like, we're like stealth.
But I totally love when people underestimate me. That's one of my superpowers.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
A superpower.
Yeah.
Like no one, no matter what situation I go into, especially when I do competition shows.
Yeah.
And I do very well on competition shows for someone who's not really good at any of the stuff that we usually have to do. I'm literally afraid of my own shadow. And like anything we have to do that's like adventurous, I suck at all of that stuff.
Is there a point because I've never done something like that. Is there a point where you like go into go mode or you just always like under the radar?
I am under the radar.
But how do you get to the win? Do you feel like you need to switch it up at the very end to win?
Well, I think once like
you get down to like top 3 or 5.
Once I get into like final 3, I'm like, okay, shit. Now I got to clock in because I actually might be able to win.
Okay.
But when it's like 15 of us, whatever, like at that point, I'm still like, okay, I don't know how this is going to go. All I can do is
But so you're not doing this like low key personality thing.
It's not a strategy.
You just are.
Like I literally go into situations.
You shock yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I never can believe
so it's not like a
when
game plan.
I come close to winning anything
in
a competition type situation, especially with like other
This is
people.
no difference in my experience on Housewives. Every time they call me back, I'm like, oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
And then at the end, I was like, oh,
For sure.
shit. I got to like put on earrings now. Like, oh my God, they think I'm like
Noel will tell you. I'm like, well, the season's over now and I don't know what's going to happen next season. It's like, Mom, you say it's been 11 years. They always call you back. Like, what is wrong with you?
Right.
I'm like, well, this could be the one year they don't call me back. Like,
Okay, top 3, then you're like, oh shit, I need to like figure out what's going on.
Right. Because now I'm like, all right, Cynthia, like now you're getting close to possibly having a chance to win this.
Okay. So what could you have done in the past shows that you've done to win? What would you change?
Well, I actually did the best that I could do because I don't know. Like I said, I'm not that great at stuff. Like, okay, so no, it's like serious.
What a statement.
No, I'm serious. Like, okay, Big Brother. I cooked and cleaned my way all the way to Final 3, like hands down. Like I tapped in. I was like, what are my strengths? Like I literally
they keep you in the house.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
My
got
strength
it.
was to just be myself. We had to eat.
Right.
I love cooking.
But like you're a team player.
And I like a clean space. And
did they
those
ever
people
show
were like,
did they show that
filthy.
on the show?
Did they what?
Did they show that on the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, got it. So
they showed me like cooking and cleaning.
Got it.
Like I literally.
That was your,
Yeah, that was like my thing because I knew everybody wanted to eat and everyone appreciated a clean area, a clean space, living space.
Okay,
and we were like living in this space together. So that was like not even a strategy. That was just something like I wanted to eat it and I wanted to be in a clean space. So like, why not cook enough for them and they get to enjoy a clean toilet as well.
Right.
All right.
So they're thinking Cynthia is not great at gaming, but she feeds us.
Absolutely.
She's great to have around.
And she's cleaning the
And
toilets
we'll kick her
every
off
day.
whenever we feel like it, but just keep her around.
Yeah, they were like, we'll get to her later.
Yeah.
Because she's not a threat.
Love it. Love it.
Like I was not a priority at any point to be focused. I'm like mopping the floors. Like, yeah, I'm not a threat. Wiping the windows, fluffing the pillows. Like, don't mind me.
Like, stirring the chili.
And it worked. Like I shouldn't tell this because I plan on doing more competition shows. But
so every time you're mopping, like, oh, that bitch is mopping
my
again.
way to Final 3. Okay. So that
I want to show when I'm mopped, like, we got to get her, Ursula. We got to get
her ass out of here. But now this is where the moment of truth happens. Now it's like competition night where we have to like do like some kind of maze like we have to get through or some kind of like putting like ski thing where we have to like anything that requires any kind of like competitional talent where we have to do a task.
Yeah.
That's when I just suck. Like I literally could not have won a modeling runway walk competition and that was like what I've done. Like I just could not win anything.
Okay.
So that really helped me because they were like, oh, she sucks at everything. So like we don't have to worry about that. So I was like, okay. And I wasn't like pretending like I sucked.
Yeah, you just sucked at it.
Like I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah.
And like literally, like I don't even know how they got me. Well, it took them like 10 minutes to convince me to actually go and climb the wall. And then we have to hang on the wall. And then they're like shooting like paint things at us. And I'm literally like, okay.
Right. You're just trying to
My arms are giving out because I don't have a lot of arm strength.
Right.
Great leg strength, by the way, but not a lot of arm strength.
I have no arm strength.
Me either.
Yeah.
Like, what is that? So anyway, so I'm holding on and they're shooting like stuff. And I'm already like, okay, they're not going to come and get me off this wall. So I have to drop at some point. So then I have to decide.
Where are you dropping into?
I'm dropping on like a big.
Like foam pit or something?
Yeah, like a thing that's like not as soft as it could be. Okay. It's like definitely, your ass has dropped off a wall and like hit something, right? And I'm looking around. And everybody's like in it. Everybody's clocked in. I'm like, these motherfuckers are not letting go anytime soon. Wait, I'm not going to win, so I may as well just go ahead and like.
Do you get to use your legs at all? Or is it only arms?
I feel like I was holding on. I remember it being mostly like an arm thing.
Oh, God,
I think I may have had you have to watch it. Like I was awful. But anyway, I finally decide, okay. And like, I kept going.
You're not going to win
this. And the whole
this.
time I'm asking myself, like, why did I let my manager talk me into doing this show? Like, here I am. Like, when I tell you I'm afraid of heights, I am so afraid of heights. So I'm up here because we had to like go up a thing to get up there.
See, my thing is, I already know I'm not going to last, so just do now, right?
Yeah.
But if you go first or fifth, does it matter? Or not really? Or just whoever lasts?
Like, if you were first, you had to walk like across the ledge the farthest to the end. So I went last, so I only had to just get on the ledge and be right there instead of like going over and over and over.
I see. Got it. Okay.
So I took the easiest way possible for anything that I could do. Like, be very clear about that.
Okay.
And as soon as I got up there, the only thing I was thinking about was hating myself that I even signed up to be on the show and figuring out like when my ass was going to just release and drop.
Right. You're
And
like,
I decided
I've been here 7 hours to
listen, I was like, you know what? This is it. I'm going to drop. And then, and you know, I'm older, so the bones, I was like, okay, if I drop on my, I knew I couldn't land on my feet. So I was like, my butt is the biggest cushion part of my body.
Oh no, you
so I
really
was
have
like, I'm
to
gonna
land.
drop. I got to kick my legs out from under me and land on my butt.
And break your tailbone.
Well, I have a big butt, so I knew that there was like,
Okay.
insulation there. Yeah. So that was the best thing I had.
It's cushioning, not insulation.
Oh, sorry, cushion. But you know what I mean, like insulation.
Yes.
Okay. And I let
Zoe
go.
calls it juicy booty.
I know juicy. Well, that's
booty.
me. Anyway, I dropped, and I was so afraid. Like but I was so proud that I even did any of it.
Yeah.
Like all of it.
So what
was
was the final 3 challenge before you got kicked off? By the way, I'm going to watch this now.
I think something was like, and I feel like I'm really precise.
And
with
you were
stuff.
with Todrick.
Yeah,
right?
it was me, Todrick.
Because all I know is Todrick got a lot of hate.
Misha Tate, who was like a professional female wrestler.
Okay.
Oh, she was a beast.
Well,
she was totally clocked in.
Okay.
And Todrick was really good because he was a super fan, so he just knew
how it worked,
how the game worked. He was never on the block. He was never in jeopardy of getting put off. Like
okay.
He just worked everybody.
Got it.
And then he immediately took me under his wing because he knew I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Right. Did you lose from a physical game or a mental game? Like,
I think by the time, because I was in there, like we were in there the longest, the final 3.
Okay.
I was no good mentally by the time. I lost in everything physical for sure.
Okay.
And then mentally, I was falling apart by the end. It was like,
is it that hard?
Yeah.
I mean, top 3, you were there a long time.
I was there for like, and then we had to quarantine for like 10 days because it was during COVID.
Oh,
we quarantined
God.
for like 15 days before we went into the house. And then we went into the house. And then I was there for like 30 days or something. Like, this is no phone, no computers, no access to the world. I was in there for my birthday. Like, I literally told my ex, I was like, I'll be out. Like, I'll be the first one out. Like, for sure. And I was like, and I'll for sure be out by like birthday, Valentine's Day. Girl, I was in there
for like 7 years.
Like, it felt like I had went to prison.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Oh my God.
You should do it though. You should do it.
Well, you don't make me want to do it.
And then
every time I hear about a reality game show, it always looks fun, but everyone tells me how horrible it is.
No, you'll appreciate this. So then I did a few of them, but I did, I want to point this one out because I actually won this one. So I do Name That Tune, and we go to Ireland for this.
Okay.
And I go up against Teddy.
I remember when Teddy left to do that one. Did you guys do this from Big Brother there? You guys all like the same group?
No, I met Teddy in the Big Brother house. That's how I know her.
Okay, got it.
So, and basically,
yeah, but then she did Name That Tune with you.
Yes.
Right after.
That was after.
That's random.
Yeah, totally random.
Okay.
So we end up over there, and Teddy's like very competitive, especially when it's time to like clock in.
Yeah, I know.
And she's really smart.
Yes.
And I was completely like, okay, I know songs. I mean, surely they're not going to put like hard songs. But
it's you two against each other. Is that how it works? Okay.
So they're explaining the game. And like literally they would be like, so this is how the game kind of works. Well, you know, whatever. And literally they give an example and it's like, doo-doo. And Teddy's like, oh, that's so-and-so. Like she knew the song in like 2 beats. I was like, I'm so fucked. I was like, wait, that's the clue? You got like 3 notes? And she literally knew the song.
Really?
Yeah. So we get out there.
Oh no!
I don't know what were we supposed to be talking about. I don't know how we got here.
I don't know. All right,
let me finish the story. Then we'll go back to our regularly scheduled program.
Which was what?
I don't even know what it was.
Have a scheduled program.
I know. Okay.
No, I'm very fascinated. Because I want to do these things. I just never ever say yes.
You have to do it. Like I'm obsessed with you. I want to do a show that you're on and be on it together.
You're not obsessed?
Traitors.
Obviously, Traitors is number 1.
Yeah.
Family Feud.
Oh, that one's. Well, I sucked at that too, but that was a fun one.
Wait,
I did that with my family.
Oh, you did a family?
I did Celebrity Family Feud with my family. We did it against Candy's family.
Oh, I want to do it so bad.
No, that would be a good one.
I think I would do well.
Yeah, and the thing about that, if you don't have enough family members, I could come on with you. Like they let you like bring.
Why don't we do like
people.
a humble brag family?
Yeah, and bring our producers
we can all do it together.
We can invite Nick to that would be good. Okay, let me finish up.
Media one.
All right, let me finish. Yeah. Okay, let me finish up the.
No,
Name That Too.
Wait, I want to know. I genuinely want to know.
So we get there and now it's on, and like Randy Jackson's on the piano, and I forgot the beautiful host's name. She was amazing, and we start. And the crowd is out there. There's like a live audience. And Teddy's like, I already could tell.
Are you so stressed?
She has transformed into the Terminator at this point. Right? She's going to take my ass out. Okay. And
you
I'm
must
like,
be
shit.
so stressed.
I was like, I have to like.
Not make a fool.
Like, I cannot be completely embarrassed here. So they do the first thing. It is like, you know, whatever the song was. It was like 2.5 notes. And she like hit the buzzer. She knew the answer. And I was like, I didn't even know we started. Okay. I was like, wait, it's happening? So this is like she's kicking my ass all through the competition.
Oh my God.
Like there's even like, and this is like pretty embarrassing. There was even like black songs.
You're gonna say something like that.
And this is where I get my black card revoked. That she knew before I knew. I was like, well, I know black songs. I just don't know the first 4 notes of a black song.
Yeah.
And she was like,
she knew it.
She was
she like studied
on my ass. She was like, I am winning. This is it. So finally, we're at the end of the game. And I suck so bad. They were like, it came to Teddy and she was like, they were like, do you want to pass it over to Cynthia or do you want to try to guess it? I was so awful. She was like,
pass.
I'll pass it.
Oh, so you could just like lose.
Yeah, because
Right.
I was clearly like
Yeah.
going down. So she passes to me and literally the audience is just like, who booked her to be on here? She's like, how is she even on the show? So out of nowhere, the gods from heaven come down and it's like 2.5 notes of the Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend.
I was like, don't tell me some like white song.
It was the whitest song ever. Thank you for being a friend. And it was for
how many notes?
They maybe gave me 3 notes. And it was for like 1 million points, like something crazy. But at that point,
and
Teddy,
you knew it right away?
I was like, somehow I knew it. I hit it and I won and I beat Teddy in the end. But she whipped my ass the whole way.
That is
and then
so
for the
funny.
big money round, which she just let me do because I was not going to guess it. And by some miracle, I guessed it and won. This is like the stuff that happens.
Did you make money?
Yes, I made money for my charity.
Oh my gosh. That is so
Isn't that crazy?
funny.
Shout out to Teddy. I know you should have won, Teddy, but this is how my life is.
Yeah, the gods protected you.
I got one thing right. And she did, like, Teddy got like 20 questions right. And I
want to do all this stuff.
No, you have to.
Is Ryan doing this for you? Is he getting all these fun games?
Nick.
I want to do like game shows.
I know.
I think I would do well.
Can you guys book Crystal for like game shows for anyone
I would
who
crush.
has any control of like the game
Because I'm pretty competitive.
Oh no, you would like, I wouldn't want to go against you.
I would get serious.
But are you adventurous? Like, would you do that Air Force show that Denise just did?
So,
because there's no way. No, I wouldn't touch that.
So Nick did that show.
Nick did that?
Mm-hmm.
How did he do?
He did it. My friend Beverly Mitchell did it. Do you know Bev Mitchell?
No.
So Bev did it with, I want to say RZA.
Okay. Kenya did it.
Okay, it's a lot of people have done it.
She did an amazing job.
They said
but she's like an adventurous. She's like a daredevil.
They said it's the hardest thing they've ever done. I'm a super adventurous person though.
I watched her jump out of an airplane backwards.
Yes,
and I was like, I could never. Like,
I would do that.
Whoever is casting that show, don't even waste the email because I would
I pay
never
money to do something like that. Like I love.
You
that
would
stuff.
do that?
Yeah, like I went to Iceland. We like hike glaciers. Like I love that stuff. Like super into it. I just like when I heard the stories of it's all this stuff behind the scenes. Like I'll do adventurous stuff, but then they put you like in barracks and like there's like no food and like I don't like that. I want to like shower and be like in a comfortable bed. They put you like in cots.
Yeah.
See, that's not like I want to do all of it and then like a nice hotel.
And then sleep at the Four Seasons.
Yes, that's what I do.
And then go back.
Yeah. But would I do it? I mean, I think Name That Tune would probably be more in tune with me. I'd rather do.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. I would probably, I mean, I'd much rather do Traders. I think, Traders is like a mind game.
Yeah.
I love that.
So, okay, let's talk about Traders for 2 seconds since it's actually airing right now. I have to watch it. I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
Because I think the first 3 episodes have aired or
yes.
something.
And I think a few of our friends have
I wish we could watch it together. But anyway, maybe we could because I'm not here for like a week. Okay.
Yeah, let's binge it this week.
All right, so I think you would be an amazing trader. But you could also be a good faithful. Like you could be really tricky. I feel like I have faithful written all over me.
Right.
Which would make me a good trader because no one would think. But I don't have a poker face.
You'd be a great trader if you could do it. Like I would never ever walk in thinking they pick Cynthia. This will be the problem. If they ever had us do it together, they would make one of us traders and one of us faithfuls. That's what would be the problem.
I don't have a good. I think
And
you,
you know
I
what they
think you
would
have a
do?
good poker face.
They would make
you
me
have
the
a good
traitor.
Yeah, because you
And they would make me lie to
because
your
you don't
face.
show expression.
No,
sometimes.
I don't. And they would make me lie to your face, and I would. And then you'd be like,
You fucking bitch.
well,
You wouldn't give me like a blink, be like,
well, we have
okay,
to
you can't out me,
pre-do it.
bitch, but I'm a traitor, but just
the
like, I
problem
got
is-
your ass. Like,
I couldn't. I wouldn't. I would have to play the game.
we would have to have a sign.
No, we'd have to say, look, this is a game. Whatever happens, happens. But we cannot hold it against each other. But I really think people hold grudges. I think
Really?
it's like a really intense
They take
game.
it personal.
Yeah. I would take it personally if you lie to my
Really?
face all the time. But I also.
But that's the game.
But that's
like,
the game.
You have
yeah.
to.
So in the end, I know that it's the game.
yeah.
But
I wouldn't take that personal because
okay.
I'd be like, okay, you're playing the game.
But you'd be like, humble brag. I'd be like, I'm not lying to you. And in the end, I'd lying to you.
I mean,
I would be a great trader.
oh, yes.
So
Yes.
I'm so low-key.
And now if you go on there, you can't be one because they're going to think you're going to be a traitor now.
But you never know.
But you never know. But you
never
would be a good faithful too.
I know. I would be. I would. But thing is, my problem is I have to like really, really dive deep into these because you've done a lot of shows now.
Yeah.
Like if I was a faithful, I would work so hard to find the traitor, and then people would like they'll try to get me because they're going to be.
And
like,
I think you would be really good at finding the traitor.
Yes. So I have to like low key like not be too into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, like just like I'm gonna mop. Just gonna keep mopping. I'm gonna keep cleaning for you guys. Like, and then low key, like let everyone just kind of die off.
Yeah.
You know, like the first round of soldiers die.
'Cause you know,
die.
okay, here's the thing. Like, this is the one bit of advice I can give to anyone who's doing those type of shows. You don't want to bring any immediate attention to yourself.
Right.
You want to blend in, like
Blend
for the
in.
first.
I'm a
few
blender.
days.
I'm
I
not-
blend in too.
Yeah, I blend.
Like
in.
I literally become the furniture in the house. People do not even see me. I become the chair. Like
you and I are sitting like a tree.
I'm the plant. I am the plant right now. I'm a stove. I'm a refrigerator. Like you do not see me. But I'm telling you, like you would think people couldn't help themselves but notice these fabulous
But because
cheekbones.
people
But
are
the
like,
way
"No, no, no,
I
no, no."
blend in with
Yeah.
other people,
No, I believe it because
it's like I'm a freaking chameleon.
Well, also because then you're compared to all these people that they picked, right? They don't pick quiet people for shows like this.
No.
They're all like want
Oh, yeah.
attention and they want to be
Yeah.
popular. It's like, you know what? You go head to the front of the line, you get murdered,
Oh yeah.
and then you'll just the
Yeah.
plant will suddenly come out
And
of
I
the
think-
wall.
And I think because I'm older, they kind of feel like, oh, she's probably not as fit to do some of the like
That's
adventurous
funny.
stuff.
Do you feel older in these shows now?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, definitely. Like most of the times on these shows, I'm one of the oldest people there.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, for
Interesting.
sure.
Okay.
If not the oldest. So I'm definitely up
Really?
there with like, it may be like 3 old people and I would be one of them. Like seriously. That are like in their like mid 50s.
Okay. All right. I understand. what you
Because
mean.
most of them are like young
right. And ruthless.
and in shape
And ruthless.
and ruthless.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Scared, but ready.
No, you have to. Please sign
I want to do
Crystal
one
up.
of them, just
Yeah.
something, and then I'll probably never do it again. Like it'll be too traumatizing, but I'll do it.
No, I think you're. Up
I just
for the
want like a
challenge.
mind game one,
You would be good with a mind
a
game.
mind one. Like that's good for me. Like I'm strong, but like that's not my strong point. You know, like physical.
But you have
stuff.
to have really good people and social skills. You have to be able to like
do that.
understand like people because people like once the light goes on, it's like game on.
Yeah.
Then people like turn into like masterminds. All of a
Right.
sudden, you're like, wait a minute.
That's
Like as a
so
matter of fact, this is funny. So me and my boyfriend over the holidays, we went and we did an escape room. He like
right.
barely speaks English half of the time. Like
Okay.
he just is like so unassuming. So I'm like, all right, well, let's go do this escape room and let
Yeah.
me just see what that's like. Cause I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. So he's like, oh, so now what is it? Now where are we going? So how does it work? He was so confused. Girl, the minute we went in that room and the fucking light hit green,
Oh, he was
turned
on.
into like, he went straight to the first clue. He was like all up in, I was like, literally like, come on, we gotta go. I was like, English was perfect. I was like, oh, now you can like.
Yeah, you understood what I said to you last night, bitch.
Exactly. When I tell you, he was like,
He went on.
was activated.
Gamers are gamers.
But he's a gamer though.
yes,
And I didn't like think about that. Like he went in and he was like, and we made it out too. Like he
Yeah.
was like, okay, like here he was like, come on, like no, none of it. Like over here, okay, what's behind? Like I was like, whoa. I was actually kind of turned on.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
know.
look at my
That's
baby.
so
He's
sad.
like,
Yeah.
he got us out of this escape room because I, of course, suck at escape rooms.
right. You're
Of
just,
course.
just cleaning up the walls. And, yeah. Make sure it looks tidy.
Like I might, if there's 20 clues, I might be good for some like random, like I might have 3 clues.
Right. Okay.
We would still be in there if he was in there.
You'd be like
Almost
dead
said
in
his
there.
name. Yeah.
That is so funny.
But that was cool to see that side of him. I was like, oh, baby knows how to get activated.
Well, I think that's like the next thing. Have you done it? You've vacationed with him. You went to
Yes.
Switzerland.
Yes.
Did you guys do anything
Amsterdam.
adventurous?
No, not really. He was there working.
Okay.
So we did his, I went
I
with
like
him.
that. I like that adventure.
Well, it was really
thing.
cool to go with him to work because he's like, it was like all these like, thousands of people and he's like performing and I'm like, he's doing his stuff. He's DJing. He's in front. He's singing. He's like throwing stuff out. He's like he like body surfs like normally. Sometimes he'll throw himself into the crowd. At one point he did a flip. I was like,
that's crazy.
And I was just like, and I've never been on stage with like a
Did anyone recognize you?
person. What?
Did people recognize you?
You know what? I don't think so.
Okay.
Which was
Well, I mean,
kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I was like trying to be a little incognito, had like a big hat
Yeah.
and stuff. And I was like not trying to bring any attention
That's
to
right,
myself
yeah.
too. But when I
But it
tell
was all
you,
about him.
like I was like making sure like he had his water. And at one point he was trying to take off his jacket and he was like all into it and his dreadlocks were getting stuck. And I was like, I literally ran. I was like helping him get the jacket off. I was like literally like his like assistant.
I love that's cute.
And then he did a flip and I was like, oh shit. I was looking at him like, are you good? Like, what is happening? It was so much fun being in his world.
That's adorable.
Yeah, he's like crazy on stage, which of course turned me right on.
Of course.
I was like, woo,
Of
all
course.
sweaty.
That's a lot of
dreadlocks
respect,
flying
girl.
everywhere. I was like, whoa, the crowd is going crazy. I was like, somebody's getting something. Like, he's hot. Like, it was fun.
Okay, I want to go see a show now.
I know.
Wait,
I know.
that's so exciting. It's so adorable.
Yeah, I think he's like, hopefully he's up for a couple things. Like there may be something in Vegas soon. And he has an agent here that's like, getting
We can
stuff.
get lit in Vegas.
Yeah.
We go.
I would love to be in Vegas with you.
Yeah.
No, that would be, we have to go to Vegas together.
Hell yeah.
Wait, you have a birthday coming up.
I do.
So
It's like
what
in
are we
3 weeks.
doing? Like what is happening? And then my
every year,
birthday
like,
is after your birthday, the week after.
I know. I have like a couple of like brewing things. I'm not quite sure yet, but so I'm always like something small, and then I get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then huge.
Then we're walking the red carpet for your
Yes,
birthday
exactly.
party.
So some will be like spa, like girly things, some bigger things, but I tend to do like multiple parties because my thing is
I could see that.
I need to cover everyone.
Yeah.
Like
And
it's weird. It's my birthday, but I feel like I need to like host everybody.
Yeah, and you have
feel,
a big group minus those 14 friends.
Yeah,
You still got like
whatever.
a
We don't
big
like
group,
them.
yeah.
They're too expensive anyway.
Yeah.
I don't like them. But speaking of friends, I wanted to tell you. So I just hosted a baby shower.
Ooh.
And it was so funny because
Who's having a baby?
my girlfriend's having her 4th baby. She's always wanted a girl. Now she's having a girl. And
Aw, that's
she's,
nice.
you think I know everybody in LA? This woman knows every single person in LA.
I don't believe it. No one knows more.
She
people
really
than
does.
you.
It's like weird. But I hosted it with Blake Lively.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait
And
a
there was-
minute. Okay.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yes.
It ends with
It
us.
ends with us.
One of the best movies I've seen.
I know you love this
Like I'm
movie.
obsessed with this movie. And then I hear all this stuff that's going on.
Okay.
Like, okay, now Blake Lively's like there at the baby shower?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
She had flown in.
I would have fanned out.
And there was, it was,
She was
you
so
would have
good in
found
that
out
movie.
because there was a lot of people there. It kind of made it to the press. But
Who else like famous was there?
so I hosted it with, so my girlfriend's, one of her best friends is Sky Hoppus. Her husband's Mark Hoppus from Blink 182.
Okay.
And my friend Marla, she's like from she's a big child star now as a director. It was like a group of us that hosted.
Okay.
We just love her so much. And Blake hosted. But I think what made it a lot of other press was that Meghan Markle came. And Meghan's also a friend of the group.
Snap, royalty.
So it was like Meghan and Blake, who I thought are like the 2 biggest sort of headline
Yeah.
people right now.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that because I'm actually very curious about what you think about what people are saying about them. So let's go to Blake first.
Okay, let's do Blake first.
Blake is big news
Yes.
right now.
Yes.
So about 2 days after the shower came that she had said that the director and co-star for a movie that you love,
Yes.
like there was sexual assault. I didn't read any of it, but I've read the headlines and stuff like that. And then he came back and sued the press outlet for $250 million for defamation. And then his agency dropped him. So it's like a huge.
Wait, his agency dropped him?
Yes. And then I think now she's suing. Everyone's suing each other. She's suing him and his production company for harassment. So obviously we could talk about this till blue face because like we don't really know what happened.
Right.
What do you know about it? What do you think about it? Or whatever you read. And then my second question is like, you are someone that has been in a world of like modeling. It to me is very similar to acting in sort of that
To some degree.
environment. I mean, it's a very like sexualized environment, no? Is it
Well,
not?
yes.
Sexualized meaning
Yes.
like there's a lot of hierarchy, beautiful women and stuff like that. Like, have you ever felt that way? Have you ever
Okay.
felt under pressure or like what's been your experience? And I want to know all about your modeling career. I think people are very curious about
Okay,
that.
so this is a 3-parter. Okay.
It's a
so
17-parter.
Okay.
So like this is part 1 and we'll finish it December 2025.
And you know I'm long-winded as hell.
Yes, you
All
are.
right,
So
here we go.
I'm giving
Keep
you
me on track.
I'm
'cause
giving you a
I
lot
could
of
go off the rails
options
on this one.
and you can tangent any direction.
Okay, let me tackle
as well.
the Blake part first.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I watched the movie, which it was just one of the best movies I think I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
I cried. I was just in it. It was the whole thing. The chemistry between her and the other actor who
Justin.
what's his name?
Baldoni.
Justin.
Yeah.
Insane.
So did you find it crazy that all this came out after?
I'm completely in shock.
Okay.
Like I don't even know. Like I'm like what? Like you watch that movie and then you read all this stuff that's happening after the fact. I just like that's why I want you to watch it because I'm like,
Right.
wait, what? You guys killed it! Like this was an amazing
And is their
project that you did together.
Is their relationship in the movie highly sexualized?
Yes.
Okay. So do you feel like now that you know what's going on, that there's all these sexual harassment claims and lawsuits, that was the reason why they were so intense?
Was like, I mean, he just killed his role. Like I just
Oh,
thought
I
in
see.
my mind, I'm like, wow, this
Wow.
is really like amazing acting.
Okay.
I didn't look at it like
Something behind the scenes.
like there's like he's really overstepping. Like
Okay.
it just really felt like
Great acting.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what it felt like, not knowing, the aftermath. of,
Okay, got it.
everything that happened. So
Okay, got
that
it.
was what I thought on that.
Right.
And that's all I can really give you on that. And I'm really surprised that there was all this other stuff going on.
Yeah.
Like I really am surprised.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like they just told an amazing story. And that was it. So, so there's that. And then the second part was, as a model for many years, have I ever felt like, have I ever been like sexually harassed or
Yeah.
put in like a situation like that? To be honest, like I've been in the business for so long, I felt like the climate and the temperature for a long time wasn't really as heightened as it is now.
Mm.
So like I look back and I think of situations that maybe at that time it could have been sexual harassment, but it just was not a world where that was like talked about
Yeah.
or recognized.
Right.
Nothing really major sticks out. I do remember a situation when I first started, and I think this is the first time I'm even telling this story. My agent sent me to a photographer. And it was like, oh, he's really, he's a really talented photographer. And he, saw your photo and he wants to shoot some photos of you. And as a new model, you need like, photographers to shoot pictures of you. Again, I'm like maybe in New York, maybe 2 months, if that. So I'm still pretty green. And you got to realize I came from Alabama too.
Yeah.
For everyone on here that didn't know that I'm actually from a small town in Alabama. So anyway, so I go to his building and I ring the buzzer and it's like a 4 or 5 flight walk up. So I drag my ass up there and I'm like, okay. And I walk in and it's just myself and him, which is not abnormal when you go to a photographer's place.
Right.
His little studio, like you had like a little backdrop in there, whatever was there, which is not uncommon.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm still like, hey, this is just how it works. This is not weird. He's like, talking to me, we sit down and we talk and it's like, oh, can I get you, something to drink or whatever? And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure I accepted like tea or whatever he gave me. And that was fine. And then we start doing, he's like, okay, so like I just like say I had on this. He was like, okay, you know what? Just sit here or stand here. He started just doing some shots. And then after about maybe like 20 minutes or so, because now we're talking, I'm feeling comfortable. I'm like, okay, this is like a modeling. This is how it is. This is like, I didn't really understand a lot about the industry at that point.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't even say, it was like, okay, you know what? Do you have a bra on? And I was like, yeah, I have a bra on. And he was like, you know what, take your shirt off and let's just do some bra shots. Which for me, I was like, oh, but I didn't want to, like, you got to realize too, for me, I didn't, like, even being in New York, having the opportunity to even be in that world was like, so in my mind, like, not my world.
Right.
Like I'm like, this is my big chance
Yeah.
to change my life.
Right.
And like, how did I even, like, I can't even believe I live in New York.
Right.
And that I'm even modeling and
Right.
that I even have an agency.
But also, this is like a professional is telling you what you're supposed to be
Absolutely.
doing.
And this was like in the late 80s because it was like maybe a year after high school. So anyway, so I'm like, okay. And I don't want to, like,
Say no.
Make him mad.
That's
or
right.
like be like,
I
oh,
know.
I'm not going to take it off. Like, I was not like, I didn't know I had any power at that point to
Right.
say, no, I'm not going to take my shirt off and do it in this bra, whatever, do the shoot in this bra. So I remember feeling like, I don't know if this is right for me to do this, but then I felt like, well, if he's asking me to do it, it must be like
You're supposed
what
to do
models
it.
do.
Yeah.
So I remember taking it off. I had my bra on, which is not the worst thing to take a bra shot or whatever. What I remember was when I started to feel uncomfortable was when, like, we were like in the bra and I'm like, and I don't know, like, I was like, kind of like, I didn't know, like, I was like 19 or whatever. So I wasn't used to, I hadn't even like figured out how to even model,
Right.
let alone even feel comfortable with my body at that point
Right.
to even like, work the bra or whatever. So at some point he comes over and he's like, my hair, he's like, oh, like he's like placing stuff and
Yeah.
acting like he's straightening stuff up, but he's,
Like
touching
touching
me,
you.
doing it. So, and this is all like, looking back, him easing me into it. Because he's not like doing anything horrible to me yet. It's just kind of
Right.
like, let me see how far I can go,
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. Like it's a test,
Yeah.
almost. So, and I remember that I was like, oh, and then he would like really kind of take it slow a little bit. I'm like, okay, this is starting to feel a little weird. But I'm just like
But you just have to do it.
paralyzed.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Ugh, I know.
this is normal. This is normal. He's not hurting me or anything.
Yeah.
So I was just a little confused, but I just didn't say anything. So I just let him like place the hair or whatever. And I'm standing there and he takes more pictures. Then he was like, okay, you can put your, jacket back on or whatever. And, we're good. And I was like, okay, all right, thank you.
Right.
So I leave and I don't even like tell the agency because I just was like, I didn't want them to be like, in my mind, I felt like I didn't want to get in trouble. Like I didn't want to cause problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel like he really, in my mind, he didn't do anything.
Right.
And then like 2 weeks later, they sent me back to him. And that's
Okay.
what I was like, oh, fuck. And when they showed me the pictures, I think he sent them the pictures and they were fine. Like, it was like nothing unusual for
And
a
did he
model
show you
to
in a
have.
bra?
Yeah.
Okay, so
But it wasn't like anything like sleazy
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
It was just very simple. Like you have to, if you want to model for Victoria's Secrets, obviously you have to have on a bra.
Right.
and
Right,
panties
right.
or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm still learning. I don't know how this works. And when it was time for me to go back, because he called for me to go back again, I was like, okay. I kind of wanted to say, do I have to do it in my bra again? Like, but I just didn't say anything because
Okay.
I didn't want to like get sent back home and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, you're causing problems. Take your ass back to Alabama. So
Right.
it's like, okay, so I go back. And so this time, very nice, very, okay, we get back to the bra part again. It's like, let's do some more shots in the bra. So then, like, I remember him coming over. He's like, let's let this one fall down. You know how, like, the bra falls, so, like, and you just cheat your shoulders to me. It's, like, almost like teaching me how to model and, like, work the bra in some ways.
Right.
So, like, one comes down, and then at some point he comes, and, like, the way he slides the other one down is, like, very, like, I'm like, okay, so.
What's horrible is like you're like anticipating this and it's happening again.
Right. But I'm still thinking he has not done anything
I know.
to hurt me yet.
Yeah.
I'm just uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm uncomfortable. I've never been in this position before, so I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what's happening.
Is this normal? You're supposed to feel normal. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just honestly didn't know what to do. And again, I didn't want to cause problems
Right.
because the agency really respected him. He's like, oh, so-and-so wants to shoot you. Like, this is a big deal. He shoots for so-and-so and he wants to shoot you. So I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up.
Right.
At one point, like both of them are down and I'm just like, I just put my hands in front of the bra. Like, I just don't even know what to do. So I'm just like trying to go with it and be comfortable. He's like, relax. You look tense. And he would
You're like, because I am tense.
he would come and be like, put your shoulders back. He was like, relax. You're good. And I made it through it. He didn't, like, I just remember, like, after that, I never took the bra. I don't think I took the bra completely off. And to be honest, I could have. I feel like I maybe blocked it out, to be honest. I don't remember if I took it off. But what I remember was when I left, I, at that point, told the agency I didn't want to go back to him. And they were like, what happened? I was like, I didn't mind the bra pictures, but I just felt uncomfortable with, like, I just felt like I didn't feel comfortable. And I felt like if I went back again, I felt like every time I went back, he would do a little bit more. Yeah. And I just had enough
and did your agent
sense to kind of like fear that. Did
your agency respect that?
They did. They did respect it. I mean, I don't think they ever mentioned it to him. They just didn't send me back. And I think he like kept trying to get me to come, calling them. And they just said I wasn't available. And that was the end of it. But I could see how that situation could have gone further and ended up being a whole nother situation.
Right. Well, it's good that you stopped it.
Yeah, I did. And I'm really glad I did because I didn't, again, I'm someone, I don't really like to cause problems or ruffle feathers. And this is my career that I'm starting. And this is this big photographer who's going to like change my life. So I didn't want to like cause problems.
Right. No, I get that. I mean, I think that's what's so interesting. And it brings up a lot of, this sort of lawsuits. Like you hear all these stories and, the Me Too thing happened and now we're here. And I just was thinking about you because I'm like, modeling must be rampant.
Yeah.
And also the
back
opposite.
when I started, it was so, we didn't have a lot of power rules or just, we were just happy to be having any kind of success.
Right. But also at the same time, on the flip side, it's like, you're not sure if that was normal.
No.
Like it could have been normal.
Well, at some point, I moved in with roommates, some other models from like all over the world. Like one was from Paris, wherever, like Australia. And they would have, and I would look through their books, and they would literally have like beautiful nudes and stuff. Like it just was like, but gorgeous, not like, tacky nudes, but like, stuff where they're covering, but it's like very, beautiful, like art.
Right.
So I was like, okay, this is
like what it is.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
So I, over time, I just became comfortable and I let it go. But I definitely made sure the person, like, if I'm feeling creeped out, like at this point, like I'll do like a nude tomorrow. Like I'm very comfortable with all of that at this point. But I think it's how the person makes you feel, not even the actual act of just taking the photo.
Right.
He just kind of creeped me out.
Right.
And there was something about
that
him.
makes it sound sort of like a gray area in that.
Yeah.
Like it's the energy, right? It doesn't necessarily mean maybe it was someone else who was doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Made you feel like it wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then it's how you perceive it, But also, I think your perceptions are right. I think.
Well, when something's off,
right.
You have
that's
to
what
trust
I mean.
that feeling, because again, like I love, like some of my favorite art is like just beautiful nudes, to be honest. And I just think they're so strong and so powerful. But I feel like in that situation, it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to just trust, like something's like off. And I'm sure that he did it to other models. And I'm sure some little naive model who was more naive than myself probably, had a very different experience with him.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And how did I get started? After I graduated high school, well, I was homecoming queen in my high school.
You were?
Were you homecoming queen?
No, I was not.
Well, I have something over you. Okay.
I was definitely not homecoming. My brother was homecoming prince.
Oh,
but I was the ugly duckling in high school. I was not. No.
Well, I was a late bloomer.
No. I was a late bloomer. I was just not I was okay, but I was not. No.
Okay.
It all makes sense. You're homecoming queen. Okay. All right. It all just wrapped up in my mind right
now. Not
now.
only homecoming queen in my high school, I was the first Black African-American homecoming queen in my high school.
Alabama?
In Alabama. In Tuscumbia, Alabama.
Well, what's the percentage of Black and white in your school?
It was predominantly white.
Oh, it was?
Yes. So I was the first Black. And Tuscumbia, Alabama is known for being the birthplace of Helen Keller. And her little house is still there.
Okay.
So that's like the main thing. And then
that's a big thing.
Kind of me that, like
Helen Keller and Cynthia Bailey.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's the truth. It's the
I'm
truth.
obsessed with that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
Anytime
So-
someone brings up Helen Keller, well, you gotta be my friend Cynthia.
Yeah, her little house is still there.
What is the city
now.
called?
Tuscumbia.
Tuscumbia. Okay.
And my high school was Deshra High School.
Okay. So it's predominantly white.
Yes. And
Okay.
this is during the time, like, it was still quite racist, like,
Yeah.
in my town. And, like, there was literally, like, a Ku Klux Klan headquarters downtown. They literally had a
Like
sign.
a legit one?
Yeah, like, that said, they wouldn't even hide it. It basically said headquarters of Ku Klux Klan. It was like,
So why did
a
your
whole thing.
parents end up there? Or is it like generational there?
well,
Like,
I mean, that's just where they were from.
Just
And,
people
like,
are
it
from.
just is what it is.
I always
you know?
imagine like it's so easy in my mind. Like I'm so naive. Like get out of there. Like
You know, when you grew up in
don't
the
go
South, like, you
somewhere
don't
with
know.
KKK is.
Like, when you're in the South, like, I didn't even know what racism was when I was there because I was just used to, you know, this divide. Like,
Wow, okay.
Like, the black people lived on this side and the white people lived on this side. And, you know, we saw each other at school and it was, like, fine. But it was always this, you know, don't cross the line
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
And was it public school?
it was.
Okay.
Yes.
So
public school.
predominantly white.
Yes.
And from I want to know all of it now.
Yeah.
I don't even, the modeling thing is part of it. I'm very curious because I know nothing
Well,
about the South and I know
Okay,
nothing about
so
this.
I was pretty popular in high school. I didn't think I
Keep
was
the tape rolling for the next 8 hours because
Finally, I have a story. I have a good story.
this is major. I just want to from like preschool on. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was a late bloomer. I was like, you know, skinny, I had cheekbones, but I hadn't really like I wasn't like during that time like I wasn't like a cute high school girl. Like I was like a tall, skinny, lanky, high cheekbones. Like
By the way,
you
that's
know.
such a classic model story.
But it's true
like
though.
they never say you're the beauty. You're just
We
like
never
the tall,
were.
lanky girls.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay.
Yeah. So that was me.
And were you athletic, sports?
I was
Were
a
you in
cheerleader.
art? A cheerleader.
I
okay.
was not athletic in any way, and I wasn't even the best cheerleader. I
Okay.
was cute enough to like pull it off, and I was definitely like the one that was like holding the cute little short girls up and
Okay.
throwing them. They were like flipping all, you know, whatever. I was the bottom. I was the bottom. I was
Okay.
the bottom bitch.
Okay.
And I wasn't the one doing the, you know,
The flipping
back.
and-
No, I
yeah.
couldn't do any of that.
Okay.
I could barely do like a half split. Like
Okay.
they basically, like I just got through.
But you were
on-
obviously a cheerleader pretty enough to end up becoming the homecoming queen.
Yeah, yeah. I worked again. You know, I'm very unassuming, and that is
Yeah.
my superpower. Somehow, like, despite the fact that I was probably the worst cheerleader that they ever had, that made it because I had to try out
Okay.
for it, and by the grace of God, I made it. But somehow I still was able to rise somehow. And then I had the nerve to be like co-head at one point. But I think that's because the girls liked me. And
Okay.
I was like, you know, fair and cool or whatever. So anyway, I made the homecoming queen, and like I'm this first black homecoming queen. My court.
Wait, you just skipped, but like, were you
Okay, what did I skip?
popular? Were you like?
I was pretty popular. I think I won like best personality or something. I have to like
Okay, so
find
you were
my
like
old year.
your popular was growing.
Yeah.
From the lankiness. You
Yeah,
were
from like 10th grade, like
You
by the
started
time I got
blooming.
it, yeah, I started blooming,
Okay.
and I kind of like found myself, and somehow I was popular.
Okay.
I never felt like I was like the most popular, but I was friends with the most popular
Yeah,
people.
yeah, okay,
Like
okay.
I found the people that I needed to be around
Okay, got
to
it.
kind of like lift me up.
Okay.
You know,
You became homecoming
I
queen.
became homecoming queen. And I remember my prom dress had to be like, I was like, you know, we didn't have like a bunch of money and stuff. So I remember like getting my prom dress, which was like, I don't know, $200 or something, which was like
Major.
spending like
Yeah.
$200 on a prom dress was like a lot. And then when I won homecoming queen, you know, my mom was like, well, you have to wear the same dress, child, because we just spent this $200 on this prom dress. So you
Right.
have to like take it right on over into that one.
Were they so excited? Like, was it a big deal for your parents? Like,
You know what? I think it was. You know, my parents were like, they were just working, busy. Like, they weren't that involved in our school stuff.
okay.
It's like anything we did extra was kind of like, all right, well, what is this going to cost? And when do you have, like, what do you have to do?
Right,
like,
right.
when do you have to be there? And then I was like, and then I had to have my stepdad walk me on the court. The court, like, it was like a whole thing. And it just wasn't like, they never made it seem like it was a big deal.
Okay.
But like school, it was like a big deal.
It's huge.
So it was like, shit. I'm like, not only homecoming queen, I'm like the first black homecoming
yeah.
queen
It's a
of
big
my
deal.
school. I get through it. I have to find the pictures at some point. But and it's like amazing. And that was the first time, honestly, that I thought, like this is a pretty cool accomplishment.
That's huge. Huge.
So it was like,
That's like one in whatever
so
hundred
that
like,
kind
kids.
of
That's a big deal.
it planted the seed of like, I
I'm
wonder
going to
what
be a
else I
housewife.
could do. Be a real housewife from Atlanta one day. Maybe I'm going to be on TV one day now. Maybe I'm going to do Celebrity Big Brother one day.
I mean, like all homecoming queens out there, like that's not a small feat.
No,
and I look
it's
at my
crazy.
brother, I think he was homecoming court. He didn't win king, but he was very popular. My brother was very, everyone loved my brother and like whatever. And it's like, it's a thing. It's like, I certainly wasn't.
Such a thing.
I mean, I'm sure everyone in high school was like, why is Crystal a housewife? Like I was not on court. I was very athletic. I always hovered in the that world, but I was never the starlet.
Right.
Never the starlet. And I actually think that's how I live my life. I'm always like here, but I try to be like low key in the group.
That's me.
I want to be in the VIP group.
Right.
But I will be at the bottom hanging on by a thread.
I'm at the table.
Yeah.
I'm at the VIP table, but I'm not calling the shots.
Yeah, but you're at the very end corner seat.
I'm at the corner.
Yeah, you're at the leftover chicken.
I'm not calling any shots.
That's me.
There's no real focus on me.
Yeah, but you say that, but you're homecoming queen.
Yeah, but that, like, I don't even know how that happened. Like, honestly.
I do.
Like, when they announced it, I was like,
makes sense.
Like, they must have just couldn't stand
You're
student
like,
body.
who?
Like, literally, whoever my competition was, like, somehow they had just decided they didn't want them to win.
But that's actually just who you are. Because in everything you do, you always are like, how did I get here?
Like, I kind of like win stuff by default in a lot of ways. Too.
No, you don't.
Like,
you don't give yourself enough credit. You don't become homecoming win by the default. You don't become a housewife default. You don't like win name that tune by default. Well, that may be by default. Like, that sounded like Golden Girls. I don't know. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay,
yeah.
So did that give you like the sort of the encouragement to go model?
Oh, it was definitely
so like allow yourself to say I want to model.
The modeling thing still hadn't clocked in yet. I was still like, but it did plant the seed of like, well, this is kind of
like
cool.
People think,
maybe I got it going on a lot more than I thought I did.
Yeah.
Like it just gave me a little bit more confidence.
Yeah, like a boost.
Yeah, like okay, this is big. Let me see what else I can do.
Yeah.
So I ended up being in a homecoming queen pageant, my one and only pageant that I've ever been in.
You're a pageant girl?
I was in like one pageant.
I've
judged
a pageant.
pageants before. I judged last year's Miss America pageant.
I know.
You realize I can't remember.
I was very jealous.
And Miss Universe.
I don't get jealous.
I did that in the Philippines.
I get very jealous. I want to do that.
And you would be a good pageant judge.
Oh, hell yeah. I would be so judgy.
Yeah, we're going to put that into the universe.
Oh my God. I want to do that so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. Back to you. So was this after high school? You graduated high school.
This was like after I won.
And now you're like, I'm a queen. I'm going to just keep going.
Well, I still didn't really own it yet. I just was like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, now what else? So there was this homecoming queen pageant with all the homecoming queens in the South.
Okay.
In Atlanta, oddly. Full circle moment. Of course, I wore my same dress again to that pageant because my ass was not getting a new one because that was just not going to happen.
You know, it's your lucky dress.
And I know. But here's the thing, and this is where, I always struggle. Like in pageants then, and still now, like a lot, you had to have a talent, which of course I have no talent. So.
Right, so when they like throw a baton.
Yeah.
Like some weird talent like that.
Play a piano, do some kind of acrobatics or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I don't really have any real talent. Do like a cheerleading thing, and I can't even do like a decent round off. So,
wait, I'm dying.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to recite. What are you gonna
do?
Martin Luther King's "I Have a Dream" speech.
Okay.
Which I think I did a pretty decent job. Okay. So that was my talent.
Okay. Like public speaking.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really I don't know if I didn't place. Okay. Lord knows I didn't win, child. Okay. And I felt like not even Miss Congeniality. Like I felt like I was like the girls kind of liked me and stuff. Nothing, girl. It was like nothing. But one of the judges was a model scout from Wilhelmina Models, New York City.
Wow.
And after the pageant, I'm like, packing up my stuff, getting ready to drag my sorry ass back to Alabama because I did not make top. Like it just was like a waste of time. And she approaches me and she's like, "Hi, I'm Betsy from Wilhelmina Models, New York City." And at this point, this is like she's speaking like a foreign language.
Right.
I don't even know like there is a fashion industry. I know nothing about any of the stuff.
You're just like the pageant girl right now.
Yeah, I'm just like, whatever, licking my wounds because now I got to drive my ass back to Alabama.
Oh my God.
Like,
what a crazy start. Okay,
crazy. So she's like, "Hi, I'm Betsy from Wilhelmina Models, New York City. Have you ever thought about modeling?" And I was like, "Girl, Really?
So are all like pageant girls not like super tall and skinny? Like
no, like there's very like pageant girls and models are models. Like
Okay.
they usually the two just don't
right.
really mix.
And you were built like a model.
I was definitely
the lanky,
a model. I was totally like
blah
a model.
blah blah that turned into like a swan girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So I was like, no, I've never thought about modeling. And I was like, and then, my mom was always like, don't mix up with people. And like, I'm like, is she like, can I trust? Is this a safe space? Like, I don't even know. Like, are you like,
you can trust these. It's a classic
Absolutely.
story.
I'm like, oh yeah, the model thing. Like, you're going to
Yeah.
like take me away and turn me into like a prostitute or something. Like, I don't know.
Well, we've already
Like,
done
what
that
you
story.
think?
So.
Yeah. You're a madam trying to like recruit me. So anyway, I was like, no. She's like, well, can I give you my card? Back then, they had cards and stuff. Like, can I give you my card? And, I didn't have cell phones or anything back then.
But you had to trust her a little bit because she was your judge.
Well, you know what? I just was like, even then, like, I didn't even know the pageant world. I was like, I just was there.
It was on
like,
a whim.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, so I'll take your card. And like, I think I must have given her my number because she ended up calling because I didn't even think anything else about it. But I was dating a guy at the time, and I told him, when I got back home, I was like, oh yeah, this lady came up to me, and she said she was like some model agent, Wilhelmina Models or somewhere in New York, and then we hear New York, like when you're like a country girl, it just seems like such a far place to even imagine yourself going
it's
or
like
living.
Mars.
Yeah, like I was like excited just to even be going to Atlanta, like driving the 3 hours there. So anyway, thank God he had like vision, and he was like, oh, you should like think about that. Like, I think you could totally be a model. And I was like, and it's like, it's so weird because after that happened, okay, so I didn't call and I didn't even talk about it other than to him. So I got a job working in the mall, at the makeup counter.
Okay.
And then there was this guy that used to come in there all the time, this like really tall, like white guy, right? Older gentleman, right? And he would just come in and stare at me. And I was like, what is going on? Like, why?
That's
It was like
weird.
creepy guy back again, like staring at me. He did it for like a week. So finally he comes over to my counter. He was like, hi, my name is Bruce. Lord, I hope Bruce is not watching this podcast. I forgot
Creepy
his last
Bruce.
name.
Creepy Bruce.
My name is Bruce, and I take pictures on the side. I'd like work. I'm an engineer, but I like, my passion is photography, and I would love to shoot you. And I was like, child. I don't know you, and the last thing I'm getting ready to do is go shoot. Like, I'd never even shot with anybody before.
But this is
like,
after the Wilhelmina stuff. This is all after.
Yeah, but still nothing has happened. Like, I just met her, but I still had never shot with anybody before.
Right.
So, how like the universe, like when one thing happens and all this like stuff starts to happen.
It sounds like it was forcing you into this.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not a model, and like I don't have any money to pay you. So like, you got the wrong girl. Like, no. And he would come back and say, I really like I just want to shoot you for free. Just take some photos. And finally I was like, okay, well, can my boyfriend come? And he was like, yeah, of course. So my boyfriend came, or I can't remember, like I felt comfortable to go.
Right. And
he took these shots of me, and then he brought them in a little yellow envelope to my job one day. And I was looking at them. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was like, and I didn't even know what the word photogenic meant.
Right,
like, it didn't even, like, it looked like something
like
that could have been in a magazine. I was like, oh, because I look at myself and I just see what I see. I never saw, like, I'd never had, like, a professional photograph like that. And I was like, oh. And then my boyfriend was, like, gassing me off. He's like, see, I told you, look at these are great. Like, you could do this. So anyway, so then like,
where did this boyfriend
so then I would
go?
like shoot with him. Oh, his name is Thomas. Shout out to Thomas. He was like
so sweet,
so supportive, Yeah. So anyway, unfortunately, it didn't work out with him, but he was a sweetheart. I really give him all the credit for just even lifting me up in a blaze of glory.
Okay, so you get the photos, and what do you do with them?
I get the photos, and I show them to my mom or whatever, my sister, and like we're like, she's like, okay. So then I do maybe another shoot with them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So then out of nowhere, like the phone rings, like the house phone, because we didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
I'm so old.
I love the story.
Like the dial phone or anything was the push button, girl. It was like when you would call and it's like you didn't have two-way calling yet, because I don't even think we paid for that. Like the line would just be busy if somebody was on the line. So anyway, so she calls and like I think my sister was like, some lady named Betsy's like on the phone for you. She says she's from New York, and it was like, I was like, who the hell is calling me from New York? So like clearly I knew no one in New York. So I get on the phone with her and she's like, hi, it's Betsy. I met you at the pageant. I was, I really, would love for you to come to New York and test, like, do, like, we'd like to test you for modeling. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, well, I can't afford to come to New York to take a test. Can you just mail me the test? She was like, and a test is like a photo shoot.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know.
Right.
And she was like, no, it's a photo shoot. We want you to shoot some photos, and we really are, I guess maybe she took a picture of me, like somehow she was like, they were like interested in me. So I was like, probably not going to be able to make it. I was like, is this something that, like, where would I stay? Like, would you guys fly me? And I was like, well, you would have to get yourself here, but we can put you in a model's apartment. I was like, what the fuck is a model's apartment?
That's crazy.
An apartment full of models is what it is. So,
that's so
but
crazy.
I didn't know that. I was like,
you're really green.
I was like, let me, I think I have your card somewhere. Let me call you back. I don't think this is probably going to happen, but let me talk to my parents. So I talked to my mom, and surprisingly, she didn't like shut it down. She was
But what was your plan? Like at this moment, you were just going to work at the mall?
I was going to go to college.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I was
so
gonna
that
study,
was coming.
like journalism.
Okay,
like I wanted to be like the local news broadcaster in my town.
Okay, got it.
Like just cover and eventually go on to be like the Black Barbara Walters.
Yeah. Okay.
In my town.
Yeah.
So anyway, I talked to my mom about it, and she's like, well, I don't know how you're gonna get the money. Like, I don't, like, how much is a ticket? Like, whatever. She didn't completely shut it down, but she wasn't like, oh yeah, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And then my dad was just kind of like, you're not going to New York. Like, you're gonna go to college. You're gonna like figure out that. Like, what? Like, who? You don't even know anyone in New York. But actually, he had family in New York, in Brooklyn. But anyway, that was a whole nother story. But anyway, it just wasn't really going anywhere. But then but it wasn't shut down.
Yeah.
Thomas was like, well,
I love Thomas.
I know.
I love him.
I think he like worked at like UPS at the time, and he was like, I'll help you raise the money. It was like, how much is a ticket? So we like, we didn't have a computer or a phone, so I don't know how we figured out how much the ticket was. But I remember it was on American Airlines, and I feel like my ticket was like $200 and something back then, round trip.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, and then somehow I scraped that up. Like I just literally like asked family members, like, hey,
You're like
trying
a
to go to
movie.
New York. So I'm trying to get to New York.
Like your boyfriend works at UPS scrounging money for you.
Like my cousin would be like, well, I got $20 you can put toward it. Like nobody even took it seriously. So somehow I scraped up like a total, like maybe like $400. And I called the lady back and I was like, okay, I got like $400. I got enough to get my ticket. Can you guys get me from the airport?
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we'll get you from the airport or whatever. And I was like, what about my rent? And she was like, and my rent was like going to be like $500 a month. And I was like, well, I'm not going to have that money.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, we'll advance it to you. And then when you start working, we'll take the money back.
So the test was like, come to New York for a while.
Yes.
It wasn't like a one day
Yes,
visit.
I think they knew. I think they could tell. They
were going to like
saw
try
something.
you. Yeah.
They saw like something. But in my mind, I was just going to do this test and then I was going to see what happened. So I got there and then I shot with another photographer, Noel Sutherland. Like amazing. Incredible. And I'm like, okay, so I go to his place and he lives like, I don't know if he lived off Central Park, but I remember walking to the park and it wasn't a far walk. And I get there and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get all glammed up. I'm going to do my first real modeling shoot in New York City. And it's like no makeup, put like a big hat on my head. I feel like wrapped like a black sheet on me and was like, okay, let's go. And I was like, how is this like modeling? Like I'm not even glamorous. So I immediately was like, oh, I don't even know what's happening. So anyway, we walked to Central Park and he's like, stand by this tree and just look, whatever. And I did. And I was like,
and are people like staring at you?
New York is so busy. Like there's so many
Things
characters and moving parts. No one really noticed, to be honest. So we like shoot and it's like super quick. Like it felt like it was over in like 10 minutes. It's like, okay, we're good. And then I go into the agency. They call me like, hey, can you come into the agency? And I'm like, oh my God. And I loved going into the agency.
Why?
Because like there would be other models in there like that worked all the time and that, they would be going in to pick up their checks and stuff. I would see them in magazines. So I would be like, oh my God, I can't believe Beverly Johnson is in here. Like,
That's
just
cool.
crazy. Yeah. So I go in, they're like all excited to see me. And I'm like, okay, because, I was just really dealing with the one lady, right?
Right.
And you know what? I forgot. I have to shout out Karen Lee, too. Karen Lee Grabowski. She was kind of in charge of, like, developing the girls.
Okay.
And I actually lived in her apartment, the first one. And I still see her from time to time. Love you, Karen Lee. Anyway, so I go in and they're looking at this test and the photos. And I look at the photos and I'm, like, pleasantly surprised because I'm like, oh, shit, this looks like out of a magazine. So I was like, all right, well, the cheekbones are cheekboning. I think I have found my village. So that's that. So I move into another model's apartment eventually, and, start trying to figure out like who I am, like, how did I even get here? It just was crazy because I had like confidence as a person, but I didn't have like model confidence.
Okay.
And this is the difference. Like confidence is like you walk into a room and you're like, hello, everyone. And you sit down. Model confidence is you like literally walk into the room, soak up all the air, take in everyone, find a seat, and then you sit down. It's like a very overly confident thing.
Okay.
But when you're in a room at a casting full of like the most stunning women you've ever seen in your life, you got to figure out how to set yourself apart. You don't want to come and be like, hi, everyone.
Right.
You want to walk in like, hello.
Wow.
Oh, where's the
Right.
sign-in
So
sheet?
everybody is.
Where's the sign-in sheet? Oh, okay. Thank you. Yes, I belong here with all of you.
Oh my God, that's intense.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And I had to like literally, I would go back to my model's apartment and practice in the mirror, like acting confident.
Right.
Because I didn't know how to like act like that. I was
Right.
like, I went
You
to my
wanna look
first
the part.
casting and I was just like, first I was like lost. I barely found it. I finally got there and I walk in and it's like literally Crystal, the most, like, I feel like models look like aliens.
Yeah.
They're like beautiful
Totally.
aliens. And it was like a room full of beautiful aliens. And I walk in and I was like, I'm not going to get this.
Oh my God.
Like, I may as well just haul my ass back out. Like,
That's so
I've never seen anything
stressful.
like that. And then I was like, I have to walk in and make myself believe that I belong there.
Yeah.
So, and I would just literally study the way how they walked in. I would study what they had on. I would study how they even, sat and how they even signed in. It was a very like a lot of the models at the casting, like they always seemed to be like busy, like they had shit to do. And I didn't have anything to do after my casting.
Interesting.
So instead of me walking in like I don't have shit to do, I'd walk in like, hi, where's Sun? Okay, like I'm busy as hell.
Oh my
Meanwhile, I have
gosh.
nothing to do after
Right.
this, right?
So you're really just like showing out. You're,
I'm becoming these different personalities because I didn't have any training. I don't know what to do. I just literally like got on a plane, got me a ticket for like $200 and
so
showed
what
up
does
to
that
the
look
agency.
like when you're inside the casting call? So you go in there and what do they ask you to do?
They'll say, I have my portfolio. At that point, I probably had like 3 photos in it, and it's fine because they like some of the times they just look at the first one and be like, "Thank you," and you're like, "Wait, there's like 3 more photos." They're like, "We're good here."
That's it?
Yes,
And then you just leave?
yes, and then you leave. And if they like you, they'll look and go, "Oh." Well, a lot of times they don't give you like a clue if they like you. They look and they go,
What? But why not just?
and then they look at you,
and they just look.
and you're like, "Shit." They're
No
looking at me.
emotions.
I'm like looking like I belong here. I belong here. I'm the shit. I'm the person you need to book in my mind, right? And they look again, and then we flip back and go,
Wow.
"Thank you."
And they just hand back your
And
portfolio.
I'm like, "Thank you."
And then
I,
what?
Then I had to learn like not to overly talk.
Yeah, but then what do you do then?
Then you
stand-
leave and go to the next casting, or just go back to your model's apartment and wait for the phone.
So
to
all
ring.
they're doing is you stand there, you show them your book, and you leave?
Yeah.
Do they make you take a photo or model?
I mean, maybe like in some cases they may say, "Hey, let's do a Polaroid."
Yeah.
Or maybe try on this pair of jeans, like if it's for like a jean campaign, or can we see your hair? Whatever. Or like, can you go in the bathroom and wipe your makeup off? If it was something for skin, I would like go with like little, makeup on.
Right.
But I'm from Alabama, child. Like I didn't go to the grocery store without makeup on before I moved to New York. So I always was like fully like done.
Is that an
Which
Alabama
made me
thing?
look, it's a Southern thing.
Oh, Southern thing.
Yeah, which made me look 20 years older than I was.
Okay,
I was
got
like
it.
19 and I looked, 45.
Right.
easily.
Because you're all made up.
Yeah. So they would like be like, could you go and, they would tell you what to do and you would just do it and just, like you can't be like overly chatty because they don't have time. They don't care. But you can't be like not talking either. Like it's like
Oh my God, that's insane.
So I'd be like, hi, I'm Cynthia. Nice to meet you. And they would be like, hi, Cynthia. Where are you from? I'm from Alabama. And then you like, if they feel like they want you to go on, be like, yeah, I'm from Alabama and I've been here for about 2 months now.
Right. You speak when you're spoken to.
Absolutely.
Right.
You don't want to be like, yeah, I'm from Alabama, girl. And yeah, I'm so happy to be here. And y'all need to book me for this job. And like doing too much.
So you really like learned. Like,
I literally learned just from actually moving to New York City. There was no social media.
Wow.
There was no like Instagram I could look at. I don't even know if Google was invented at that time, like seriously.
Right.
Because I remember I didn't have cell phones because I would leave and I would go to telephone booth on the corner and call my agency and say, hey, I just finished up the last casting. Is there anything else before I go home? I would call them.
Wow.
And they would say like, okay, great. We'll call you tomorrow. And, which like from a real phone.
Yeah.
Or they would say, hey, you know what? They just called from the last casting. They really like you. And they put you on hold. And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm on hold. Well, what that means is that they're holding you for the job and you might get it. Now, you didn't get the job, but there's a possibility that you're up for the job.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the worst thing ever is when they call, your agency calls you and they're like, hey, we just wanted to let you know they released you for the L'Oreal campaign.
Oh.
You're like, okay, thanks for letting me know.
Wow. That's a tough gig.
So you have to like be
Modeling's
able to
tough.
accept a lot of no's.
Yeah.
Which I think prepared me for like the whole acting thing.
Yeah.
Because I do like tons of self-tapes. Like
Yeah.
I actually do one when I leave here. I hear way more no's than yes, but those yeses are amazing.
Oh my God. Well, I love your modeling story.
I know. There's more, like to be continued. Like I, can tell you more. Like,
I want to know all the stories.
Yeah. Because a lot of people like don't really know really how it was like when I came into the game. It was very different because we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have anything. We didn't have, we had magazines, but like I didn't have access to like, Vogues and Harper's Bazaars and stuff like that.
Right.
To like just even know what was happening. Like I literally went into my modeling career completely oblivious and blind. Kind of like I went into Housewives, actually.
But that was the era of like the supermodel.
Yes.
Like there's no like supermodels like there's like I feel like models are like famous and they're models. But that was the time like where supermodels
it was like
were on the cover
Naomi
of
Campbell,
magazines. Yeah.
Christy Turlington, Linda Evangelista, Claudia Schiffer,
Cindy
Tyra
Crawford.
came along, Cindy Crawford. I remember doing a fashion show, a runway show for Isaac Mizrahi.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really like a big runway girl.
Okay.
But like I ended up doing a show. He was like best friends with like Sandra Bernhard.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing like a movie with Sandra Bernhard. That's a whole nother story. And I met Madonna through Sandra because they were like best friends. And Madonna was dating Warren Beatty. And we went to Spago's. It was my first time in LA. I was seated next to Madonna. Like it was crazy.
That was the era.
I got stories. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. And then we went to Herb Ritz's birthday party after
Wait.
Spago's.
What?
Yeah. It was like all my first time in LA.
Okay, I want to hear all these stories next time.
Yeah, I'll tell you more. You know what? We'll play games and we'll have like a model segment where I can tell you like a fun model story.
Yes, I want to hear them all.
Yeah, but it's a good story.
I don't have
It's
that
a
many
really
more
good story.
Madam stories, so I need your modeling story.
Well, you got to step your game up.
I know.
You started these stories.
All right, well, I'm going to go work
But I
the
have to
streets
catch up.
tonight, and then I'll tell you tomorrow what happens.
Go make some shit happen so you can have a story when you come back.
All right, well, thanks, guys, for listening. We love you. And
Wait, do we have a humble brag?
Oh.
Crystal, do you have a humble brag?
No.
No.
I'm just...
You're just humble.
Just humbled.
And you don't need to brag.
No, I'm just humbled today.
You're too humble
Do
to
you?
brag. You're too humble to brag.
I'm too humbled to brag.
My humble brag is I am humbled to have made it to another year. I love New Year's. And my brag is humble brag is killing it right now.
That's right.
People love us and we love you guys right back.
We really do. Thank you so much. We're so grateful.
Thank you. Love you guys.
All right, bye.